The earliest Hebrew inscriptions that were ever found, this was found by R.A.S. McAllister, an Irish archaeologist, more than 100 years ago, 1908. This bit of Hebrew writing came to light at the city in the land of Israel called Gezer, G-E-Z-E-R. And multiple lines here, and then it even has the author, the writer, the scribe, the school child, or whatever. His name is Aviyah or Abijah. Beautiful Hebrew name. My father is Yahweh. Is the literal translation there. But this archaeological discovery has come to be called the Gezer calendar. Why is that? Because not only is it the earliest, some of the earliest Hebrew writing that we have, but it's also one of the earliest calendars that we have. And so whoever wrote this talks about there's 2 months for gathering. This is October, November. Notice that's the beginning of the year. 2 months for planting, 2 months for late sowing, 1 month for cutting flax, a month for reaping barley, a month for reaping and measuring grain, that would probably be wheat as opposed to barley, and then 2 months of pruning. And finally, 1 month for summer fruit that concludes the year. And that's the time when olives become ripe and tree-borne fruit is being harvested. That roughly corresponds to September. So we have in archaeology an agricultural calendar that concludes at the end of the summer, the beginning of fall. That's when the new year takes place. That's the reason why Rosh Hashanah is being celebrated at this time of the year and not in January or whatever, like our secular calendar. A complicating problem shows up when we get into other parts of the Torah. For example, the book of Vayikra or Leviticus says in the first month, notice, first month, the beginning of the year, on the 14th day of the month at twilight is the Lord's Passover. Well, we know Passover takes place in March, April. So now we've got another calendar marking time in a different way, and the head of the year, beginning of the year, is taking place not at the end of the summer or the beginning of the fall, but rather sometime at the beginning of spring. So we have it seems like two different pictures of the calendar of ancient Israel. The book of Numbers reads similarly. 14th day of the first month will be the Lord's or Yahweh's Passover. Very interesting, right? So do we have a problem? Actually, probably not. Rather, it seems like that there are multiple calendars existing at the same time, both being observed by the people of Israel back in the days of the Hebrew Bible. One being more agriculturally oriented, another being kind of geared toward the sacred calendar and the cycle of major festivals beginning with Passover in the early spring of our calendar. Today, we have the solar calendar, the 365, the January through the end of December, but we also have a school calendar that starts in August, September, depending on what level and where you are in the country. And we also have a fiscal calendar, which is often different for different organizations that start at different times. So sometimes that runs from January through June, and then from June until the end of December. That's kind of the way that a fiscal calendar. Sometimes it's a one start, and that is like May for many educational institutions. So we are used to, even though we don't often think about it, in our culture, in our part of the world, we're operating under multiple calendars that have different start and end points, and all of this is happening concurrently. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch our videos. If you're benefiting from the content that you're receiving from them, please make sure that you're following us on Facebook and that you subscribe to the YouTube channel so you never miss a thing. While you're at it, share our content with your friends and family. Encourage them to follow us as well. Thanks for helping us to reach as many as we can with a powerful message of God's Word in its original context.